Okay, we're going to try it again. Psalms 104:3 defines what these clouds are. You say he was lifted up in a cloud, received Hamashiach out of this sight. What are these clouds? It's defined in Psalms 104:3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So the clouds are like what they call UFOs, unidentified flying objects. But they're really identified flying objects. We call them IFOs because we understand that they're identified flying objects. The clouds is chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, right? So, and also you look at the clouds are chariots of the Most High, which is a vehicle, what they call flying saucers. You know, UFOs, we call them IFOs. You see what I'm saying? And also go to Psalm 68:17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Keep this in mind. So you have a vehicle that's moving and is operated by the angels. The Most High, Elohim, is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place, right? So the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels, right? So the angels are in the chariots. Like Hamashiach was in the chariot that led us by a cloud in the daytime in the wilderness, and a chariot that turned into fire by night and led us. If we went around the wilderness at night as the Israelites, you see? So now that we know, Acts 1:9 says he was taken up in a cloud. Now we know that the cloud are the IFOs, identified flying objects. They call them flying saucers, UFOs, and so forth now. And we knew what they were. That's why we sung the song, Sweet Low, Sweet Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, which is in Israel. What did I see? A band of angels coming for me, you see? So, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, right? So don't it fit what we just went over? Hopefully you see that. So now, Mashiach sent it up in a cloud, it said, right? So, what happened? Daniel seen what happened with him here when he went up. In Daniel's, the 7th chapter and the 13th verse. And it reads, I saw in the night visions, because the Most High speak through visions and dreams, and behold, one like the Son of Man, who was a Mashiach, came with the clouds of heaven, came with the angels in the IFOs, and came to the Ancient of Days, right? That's the Most High. And they brought him near before him. This is future prophecy. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. You see? So this is what you're looking at when you see that Revelations 19:11 in verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, you see. So he already been given this powers and authority when he ascended and went to the right hand side of the Most High. The Most High gave it to him. It's just a matter of it being fulfilled as he's sitting on the right hand side of the Most High, waiting on the Most High to say, Come, Hamashiach Yahushai, and I'm going to make your enemies your footstool. As David said in Psalms 110:1. The Most High said, Sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. So that's what he's doing. Waiting on the Most High. Only the Most High know. That's why he's waiting. Look, Verse 12, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. See, he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Right? And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. That means his clothes was dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. I mean, it's no different than John 1 and 1. His name is called the Word of the Most High. John 1 and 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was a Mashiach Yahushua. The same was in the beginning with the Most High. All things were made by him. You don't say no angels, y'all. All things were made by him. That's him. A Mashiach Yahushua. As the angel of the Most High, the Son of the Most High. And without him was not anything made that was made. See? So, here he is, the Word of the Most High here. His name is the Word of the Most High. That's why, it's real. It's simple when you know what these scriptures saying, man. You can't gainsay on this. It's clear. It's just, he spoke the word of the Most High when he came. He came in the Father's name, he spoke the word of the Most High. But let's continue. So now, it says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. So when he went to his vesture dipped in blood, let's go to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. I like to use this a lot. I have other dictionaries too, but I like to use this a lot. This is pretty much one of these dictionaries that we wasn't supposed to get our hands on. But all praise to the Most High that he revealed it to us. So we're going to look up Edom. Because here in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scripture as the scene of great future judgments. See notably Isaiah 34 and 5 and 6. And it says Isaiah 63 and 1. It says, she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. Right? There it is. You can read it for yourself right there. You see? Right there. A lot of y'all probably think I'm making this up. No, it's right there. So, Edom represents the biblical name for the Aboriginal or the indigenous Caucasian people, you see. So, that's what they say. So now I'm going to look at what it says here. It says, and he was clothed with a vesture. That's his clothes dipped in blood. Now let's deal with that. They said go to Isaiah 63rd chapter. Let's see what they said. The elite know this. But most of you pork chop eating preachers, if you do know, you can't bring it out because you're afraid that you bring it out, you're going to lose. Ain't nothing to lose. It's all the game. So now he went to Isaiah 63rd chapter and said, who is this that cometh from Edom? You can't go past that. Who is Edom? Who is Edom? Edom represent the so-called white man, like they just said. Last I read 2 Ezra 6 and 9 says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Because we got next forever and ever and ever. But Esau would have to be ruling during the end of the world. You see? So he said, who is this that cometh from Edom? From the white man's world, with dyed garments from Basra. That was the capital city of Edom. Like New York, you know, they send the people home, children home, with preparations for nuclear disaster. This that is glorious in his apparel. His vesture dipped in blood, right? That's why we hear. This is what they tell us to go to look at. Traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, what's righteousness? I that speak in righteousness he does what? Judge and make war. Righteousness is keeping the laws of the Most High. It's the commandments of the Most High. In righteousness, like we read in Revelations 1911, mighty to save somebody, right? Let's keep reading. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why is your garments red? Apparel means your clothes. And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine vat, like somebody stomping on grapes. And all the grape juice is going all over the garments, all over your clothes. This is what he said. He didn't go no further though, but I'm going to keep going. Because it says, I have trodden the winepress alone. So ain't no angels with him. Ain't nobody with him but him, he said. In this particular case scenario, when he said his vesture dipped in blood, we ain't go no further than that. Here we are. He said, I have trodden the winepress alone. He said he by himself. And of the people, there was none with me. For I will tread them. That them is somebody. He gonna tell you who it is. He said, I will tread them in mine anger. They already said. The elite already saying that the Edomites are the only neighbors of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. They know this. So listen. He said, I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury. And their blood, he said, their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. He couldn't read that. Why not? That's what the scripture's saying. He says, vesture going to be dipped in blood. And he says, their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. All my clothes going to be drenched with their blood. He say, for the day of vengeance is in my heart. Come on now. He coming to judge and make war. You know, when you make war, what you think, Russia and Ukraine having war? They putting out rose petals to each other? They killing people. Right now in this day and time. But y'all talking about judge and make war means something different. Get out of here. Hear what he said? For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. He said, and I looked. So he looked around, and there was none to help. Nobody to help him. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury upheld me, he's saying. Come with this anger and fury and indignation. And I will tread down the people. Come on now. In mine anger, he's saying. And make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. What's their strength? The Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the military. That's what we're looking at here. When he come to judge and make war, he ain't coming to fight no little peons, 45s and AK-47s, all that. Man, he coming to bring some true judgment on this earth, to shut down everything you have, everything they got. That's what he's saying. Now, he said he's going to bring their strength down to the earth. Let me go back to the Apocrypha. In 2nd Ezra 13, right? Because we went to the conclusion of the whole matter in verse 37 to 38, giving the understanding. But let's look what he said. He said he's going to bring down their strength to the earth, right? 2nd Ezra 13. Let's look at it. Ezra having a dream. Verse 1, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, right? The angels, thousands of angels. Remember that in the chariots of angels, thousands, gonna tell you. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. They're going to be scared. Trembling, I mean, they're going to be afraid. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, that voice went out of his mouth when he said, verse 38, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor. What it says? And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. What they gonna hear? He said, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law. He gonna be saying the law. Thou shalt not kill, murder, and killing people. Which is like unto fire. Which is like unto fire, right? So listen, that's the conclusion of the whole matter, give you the understanding. But here we looking at what's being said before you heard the conclusion. This is what it said. And whensoever, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire by the law, which is like unto fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number. He gonna bring their strength to the earth, right? That we just read. And that's what they gave us to look at. The only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. That's what Edomites saying. Scholars, right? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. This is the army, the navy, the marines, and the air forces of all these nations. Out of number. Couldn't even be numbered, so many of them. From the four winds of the heaven. That's from all four corners of the earth. They are together in this. To subdue the man, Hamashiach Yahushua, that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it wasn't a mountain. This is talking about the Israelites. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together, the army, the navy, the marines, and the air forces of all these nations, to subdue him, were so afraid. Remember, he coming to judge and make war. That's what we looking at. And yet does fight. Let's keep it real, man. No, this ain't no, his vesture dipped in blood. But when they killed him on the tree, he said a cross, but it's a tree. He was hung on a tree. Nah, this is what it's talking about, as he just said in Isaiah 63rd chapter. But see, y'all gonna keep on reading to get the real, true understanding. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, just war, were so afraid. Hear that? So afraid. Remember, they was trembling when they heard his voice. Remember what his voice gonna do. Verse 38, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like as unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire. And after this I beheld, verse 8, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet does fight. Hear that? They're going to be afraid. They're under orders. All the military. They're going to be afraid, but yes, they're going to fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, don't get it twisted. Look at, they've been violent. Matthew 11:11. See what that says. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist, or myself Shai's cousin. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom is greater than him. Than he. You see? And from the days of John the Baptist until now, this is myself Shai speaking on the time that he was living. The kingdom of heaven, which is the children of Israel, suffereth violence, right? He said we were suffering violence, and what? And the violent. And the violent take it by force. So now let's go back. 2 Ezra 13. They've been violent. Ezra 13:9 again. And lo, As he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. That's why it's telling you in the end, it says in verse 38, and he shall destroy them without labor. See? By the law. He said in verse 10, he said, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire. See? This blast of fire, as this fire's coming out, they're going to hear the law that they've broken. That you say that nobody got to follow. We ain't under the law, y'all say. So, hey, we're going to find out. It said, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. This is why he's coming to judge and make war. And out of his lips a flaming breath. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. That's fire, y'all, to the utmost. And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. And burned them up, every one. He leaving none not burned up. He said he's going to burn them up, every one. So that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. Ezra said, when I saw this, I was afraid. He was giving future prophecy, y'all. You hearing it for yourself. So now, that's why we got to bring it as real can be, from what these scriptures is talking about, what it's saying. Going back to Revelation 19, 13, now we understand. He said, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. We went to Isaiah the 63rd chapter, like they said to go there, look at it. Dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. Verse 14, and the armies that followed him. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. Righteous power. Like horsepower, righteous power. Pure power. Clothed in fine linen, white and clean. You see? It's powerful, man. These are the chariots of the Most High, the angels of the Most High. The so-called white men call them UFOs. We call them IFOs. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. See? Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. That with it he should smite, that means kill the nations that are in charge now. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's the law of the Most High. Like he said, he's going to destroy them by the law. Without labor, by the law. Whose laws are they? The Most High's laws. He's going to smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's the law of the Most High. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. Now, he's doing what he's doing. Gonna be a whole lot of killing by Mashiach Yahushua, y'all. So y'all know him like this. Look, I bet you don't read this in this church. You can't read this dealing with this scripture, but look. Matthew 10:34, when he was on the earth in the flesh, he said, think not that I come to send peace on earth. So you think I come to send peace on earth? I came not to send peace, but a sword. Look, y'all don't accept him for who he is? Let's give another scenario. Y'all say y'all believe in him? Look at Luke 19 and 14. You say, but his citizens hated him. This is when he was in the flesh. And sent a message unto him, saying, we would not have this man to reign over us. Yeah, like some of y'all don't want to listen to the truth. Y'all don't really want him to reign over you. You hear what he just said he's going to do. Make it mean something different. Because what you said, what he said was totally opposite of what it is that these scriptures is talking about. This is what he said, but his citizens hated him. They didn't love him. They hated him. Like somebody said, they hate us as Hebrew Israelites. I said, yeah, they hate us. They say, yeah, we hate you. I said, they hate me too. They say, yeah, they hate you too. I'm like, whoa, okay. But Mashiach said, you're going to be hated for by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua namesake. So I had to do an adjustment of myself. Why y'all see me start with Colossians 3:17 and going into asking the Most High for guidance to be able to understand more of Him who is a spirit, to bring out spiritual things that we need to know. Because they might have hated me for something that I wasn't rolling in. And I wasn't rolling by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. And a lot of y'all ain't rolling by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. You might say it, but you don't understand the spiritual power that's there from the Most High. It's still a mystery to some of you. But his citizens hated him. They didn't love him. They hated him. Remember, he would go places they want to kill him. He'd have to go run through the crowd and get out of there. They want to stone him to death. But it wasn't his time yet. But the citizens hated him. There ain't no love there. And sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. So we won't have him to reign over us. We don't want him as our king. What he say to them? Understand this. You done heard all the judgment that came out of his mouth. Verse 27 says what? But those mine enemies. So he got enemies. And some of you out there is enemies. But those mine enemies, which were not that I should reign over them, he say, bring hither. Bring them in front of me. What he say? And slay them before me. He said, kill them right in front of me. That's going to happen, y'all. It didn't happen while he was on the earth. But it's going to happen. Like he said, don't even think I've come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but what? A sword. We read about the sword. The anger and the fury that he say he's going to come and judge and make war. Come on, you can't eliminate the fact that he's coming to judge and make war. You can't bypass that. That's why he say, those my enemies that would not that I should reign over them. He said, bring them in front of me. Bring them hither. He said, bring them in front of me and kill them right in front of me. Slay them before me. That's going to be happening to a lot of people. Now, back to Revelation 19:15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite, that means kill the nations. What do you think that means? Break that down if you will. That sharp sword will come out of his mouth, that with this sharp sword, he gonna kill the nations, put them to death. And he shall rule them, gonna be a remnant, to be ruled with a rod of iron. That's the law of the Most High, like you said. Without labor, by the law. That law is the rod of iron. And he treaded the winepress, as we read in Isaiah the 63rd chapter, of the fierceness and wrath of the Most High power. You know? How you gonna deal with that? He also gave us in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, they gave us Isaiah 34. We're just looking at what Esau gave us. It says in Isaiah 34, 5 and 6, they gave us these scriptures. Look at as far as saying that the Edomites are the only nation of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. Now they gave us these scriptures to look at. Isaiah 34, 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. That heaven is right here on this earth. Like they got the song, I'm in heaven, this they heaven. This our hell, but this their heaven. They got powers and authority, right? But my sword shall be bathed in hell right here on this earth. Behold, it shall be come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment, right? It shall come down upon Idumea. So who's Idumea? Let's look at the Zondervan. Very good thing to have. Y'all should get you one before they take them off the market. Or maybe charge you $50,000 to get one. This is coming out. Come on, I mean, they was charging $2,000 for the Russian icon book. Look, Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Let's look up Idumea. See, these scholars know. Idumea. His sword will come down upon Idumea. Let's see who Idumea is. Bear with me. Idumea. 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 It says pertaining to Edom. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea, pertaining to Edom. Greek and Roman name for Edom. There it is. You see it for yourself. See? Idumea, right here. So I'm not making this up. It's real. See? That's why I say you will keep something else. You put it where? In the book. So he said, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the Edomites, the so-called white men, indigenous Caucasian people, and upon the people of my curse. What's the curse? Leprosy. But they clean lepers. To judgment is sent. The sword, this is what they gave us a look at. The sword of the Most High is filled with blood. It is fat, made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Most High has a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Right? Wherever they are. Now, it so happens that when we got our temple dedicated back when Judas Maccabees and his brothers and his soldiers, where we celebrate the Feast of Dedication that the Mashiach Shai did also in St. John, the 10th chapter, and the 22nd verse down. Now look, let's go to 1 Maccabees. This is what they took out of the Bible, in the Apocrypha, the Greek Empire, because y'all looking at, y'all got the Revised Version, 1611 Bible, or whatever Bible you have that's been tampered with. All of them been tampered with. Less of the King James 611 Bible, but the rest of them really been tampered with. I'm just showed that over and over again. They take scriptures out and all that. So they don't have nothing coming for them. All of them that took out those scriptures, he said, you take them out, you will get all the curses that's in this Bible and then some. So let's look at First Maccabees in the Greek Empire that goes between Malachi, which is in the Persian Mede Empire, and then from Persian Mede Empire, you got the Greek Empire, then you got the Roman Empire. But in your Revised Version Bible that you only got 66 books in, because Apocrypha has not been placed in it, they took it out. So the Greek Empire is between Malachi and Matthew. And here it is in First Maccabees and Second Maccabees, the Greek Empire. Because you can't go from the Persian Mede Empire to the Roman Empire. What happened to the Greek Empire? Here it is right here. So once we got our temple back and honored the Most High on the same day that y'all honor Christmas on, that same day where they took the women and drug them around the street with their babies tied to their breasts and threw them over the walls and just killed them on that 25th day of Christmas. But that's another story. But here we are, the temple been dedicated back to us. In 1 Maccabees 5:1, it says, now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob, all of us, the 12 tribes of Israel, that was among them. We scattered among all these nations. So they thought to kill us, all the ones that's among us, among them. Salakia. They thought to destroy us, to kill us. And thereupon they began to slay. They began to kill us and destroy the people, destroy the 12 tribes of Israel that were among them. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea. You see how both of them go together? You can't deny this. There it is right there in your face. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea. We just read Idumea. The definition of Idumea is Edom, Rome. A reference to the Edomites, the so-called white man. In Arabidon, because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. Also remember the injury of the children of Beam, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, and that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He set them up, therefore, in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. Took them all out. Okay? So now, you see, without a shadow of a doubt, that sharp sword that he's going to bring, he's going to destroy the nations. Look at Isaiah 49. And verse 1 and 2. Listen, O isles, listen all you that's out in the islands unto me, it said. And hearken, ye people from far. The Most High hath called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. Hear that? Remember what it said in the Apocrypha. In 2nd Esdras 13 and 38. Remember what it said? He said, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire, right? He said, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, Isaiah 49 and 2, and he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, 2nd Esdras 13 and 4, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. Isaiah 49 and 2, and he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me. And said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Hallelujah. So, I mean, come on. We go on and on, man. I mean, let's go back to Isaiah 34, because I like to start that chapter from the first verse. It says, come near, O ye nations, to hear. Listen and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear. Hear this. In all that is therein, the world, in all things that come forth of it. He said, for the indignation of who? Of the Most High is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies, as we just read in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, without a shadow of a doubt. Hamashiach is coming to judge and make war. Understand this, because I made a mention of it. Let me show you. Isaiah 47:3, he said, thy nakedness, your nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, you're going to be exposed for your wickedness. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen, and your shame is being seen. He said, I will take vengeance. You're going to take vengeance, what we done read about. That sharp sword, you're going to smite the nations. Ain't going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. I will take vengeance, he said, and I will not meet thee as a man. He ain't come back as no man. Coming back in his angelic power. Listen. Isaiah 34. They gave verse 5 and 6, but we're going to read from 1 to 5. It says, for the indignation, verse 2, for the indignation of the Most High, through Hamashiach Yahushua, is upon all nations. Remember, you're going to say, coming back in the wrath of the Most High power. That's why it said the Most High, his wrath is upon all nations. His indignation is upon all nations. And his fury upon all their armies. We just read about it. He have utterly destroyed them. Ain't going to be no but dust and smell of smoke. Is that what it said? He have delivered them to the slaughter. That's why I say, come on, man. We will deliver to the slaughter. That's why, look, all y'all going to have to pay like we had to pay. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children. For the iniquity of their fathers. Hear that? That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. I mean, come on. Look, the Most High deal with you. Y'all think the Most High just forgot about everything. Most High ain't forgot about nothing. He's long suffering. Exodus, let's go to the 10 Commandments. Look what the Most High said here. Exodus 20. And let's look at verse 4. Thou shalt not make any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, like they have set up Caesar Borgia, this little image right here. That's what they did. Y'all bow down, serving him. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, listen, this is the Most High. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers, the things that your forefathers done, because y'all say, it wasn't none of me, I didn't do that. No, visiting the iniquity of the fathers, where? Upon the children, upon your children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And you can't say you don't hate them. You don't love the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Psalms 83rd chapter, real quick. We can find out if you do or not. Because see, if the Most High deal with individuals, he going to deal with nations. Psalm 83rd chapter says, keep not thou silent, O Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High, for lo, thine enemies. So the Most High got enemies. Make a turmoil, they make an uproar, riding, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head in pride, right? Who? Verse 9. Verse 6. First thing it say, the tabernacles of Edom. What are they? Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a turmoil, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Come on. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. So-called white man. Or white men. And women and children. Because he say going to visit from the third to the fourth generation of them that hate him. Here it is. For lo, thine enemies, verse 2, make a turmoil, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Here it is right here. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and Ishmaelites, so-called white man, so-called Arabs, and Moab, Chinese, and Hagarenes, Africans, Gebal, Africans, and Ammon. Moab is Chinese, Ammon is Japanese, And Amalek, that's the so-called Jewish people today, Philistines and inhabitants of Tyre. More so-called Africans or Hamites. Ashur, that's Assyria. Assyrians also is joined with them. See? So all these are the enemies and the haters of the Most High. Point blank. However you look at it, you can't look at it no other way but what it says here. Or make it mean something different. That's why it's saying, Isaiah 34:2. For the indignation of the Most High, and through Mashiach Yahushua, he come to judge and make war, is upon all nations. And you come to judge by the power of the Most High, as he said. And his fury upon all their armies. We just read about it. That was he prepared. That's why they got their space station out in the sky, preparing to fight of Mashiach Yahushua and the angels. He have utterly destroyed them. He have utterly destroyed. This future prophecy. He have delivered them to the slaughter. The slaughter. Their slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. Meaning anybody bearing them. Their stink will come out of their carcasses. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven, all the army of this world that we in shall be dissolved. Not where the Most High at, but this world right here. All the hosts of heaven, the army that's in this earth shall be dissolved. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Like the scroll you see behind me. Like when they dropped the atomic bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan. They'll be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts, all their army shall fall down. We done read about it. Conclusion of the whole matter. Ain't gonna be no but dust and smell of smoke. And all their hosts, all their army shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and all as a falling fig from the fig tree. Thus say the Most High. Verse 8, for it is the day of the Most High's vengeance, and a year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. We the 12 tribes of Israel. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched. You ain't putting it out night or day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Thus say the Most High. Make it mean something different. As he coming to judge and make war, that's how it's going to be. Just as it is written. Man, y'all better understand. Look, go to Revelation 6 chapter. Verse 14. Now we know where we're getting this from because we just read it. And the heaven departed as a scroll. Remember I told you, look behind me, that's a scroll. Like when I told you, like they dropped that atomic bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima and Japan. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men, see if their money gonna be able to save them from this. And the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, right? And said to the mountains and rocks, follow us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, Most High, and from the wrath of the Lamb. You hear that? That's what Mashiach Yahushua. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? That's what he said, hey. They're going to say, hey, they're going to run into the mountains, right? And they're going to say, mountains, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. I mean, they said, Edom is the only neighbor of the Israelites who's not giving any promise of mercy from the Most High. These things are known. It's not something that's unknown. They know this. When you look at what it says, Jeremiah 16:16, pay attention. You say, behold, I will send for many fishers. What's what we're doing now? Everybody that hear my voice should be wanting to know more of what this Bible is talking about. Because the Mashiach is not coming back starting from scratch. It's too much he done gave us to understand this Bible that you hear is talking to you right now. That you should be able to do it yourself. You coming back for no novices. When all this truth is out here now, y'all just want a little bit or whatever it is that's given. He said, look, behold, I will send for many fishers. We fishers now, said the Most High, and they shall fish them. There's only so many people that you're going to fish. And after you stop hearing what it is that you're hearing now, I will send for many hunters. I will send for many hunters. And they shall hunt them. Where? From every mountain. Remember, they're going to go into the mountains. They're going to hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Hear that? Remember, they're going to be hiding the holes of the rocks. They're going to say, follow us, or hide us from the throne of the Most High. When they realize you're going to know that he is the Most High, when they realize that, and from a Mashiach Yahushua is coming to judge and make war, as he said, under the power of the Most High. He said, and after, it ain't but so long that we're going to be bringing this truth out as you hearing it. A change is coming, y'all. He said, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rock where he said they're going to be hiding. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face. Hear what he said? He said his eyes are upon all their ways. And the Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. We can't even look at the sun, one sun. He said his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and even the secret parts. He said, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is there iniquity hid from mine eyes. Hear that? He said, and first will I recompense their iniquity. He's going to pay you back for your wickedness and their sin double. You hear that? He's going to pay you back.